This is a Swift Elite 645. I'm going to take you around the van and show you how it operates. Front of the van, you've got your hitch, jockey wheel and handbrake, which will take you through in person here on site. It's going to show you those so you know what I'm talking about. So the whole area down the front here will demonstrate to you in person. Front locker, you've got the gas regulator with gas changeover valve and your two gas bottle tie downs. The gas changeover valve will simply spin over between the two bottles depending on which one you want to use. The arrow will obviously point to the bottle that you're using. Down the side of the van, you've got your Aldi heating flue, which you'll never cover up. It's there to allow the hot air out the side of the heater unit. Then on the bottom right hand side here, you've got your wind down leg to stabilise the caravan, and you've got your leg. So you've got your stabilising legs either side of the front. Use these to stabilise the caravan, not lift the caravan off the ground. If you lift the caravan off the ground with these, it could potentially damage the floor of the caravan. You've got your water pump connection that pushes into the side of the van, and you've got your pump end that drops down inside the aqua roll itself. That's your water system. I'll demonstrate how to fill it once we go inside the van. You've got your battery box and your mains power lead coming into the side of the van. The battery box has the motor with power switch in there also, which will demonstrate to you in person here on site. The wheel nuts will torque while you're here on site also, so you can see they've been tightened correctly and to the correct manufacturer's settings. Back of the van, you have your toilet flush tank. It takes 3.5 litres of water and a cap full of the pink fluid prior to use. In the bottom, you have your toilet waste cassette, which very simply, you pull up the orange handle and pull the cassette towards you. The neck here turns out so you can tip the waste away, and you've got an orange pressure relief button on the back of the cassette, so when you are tipping the waste away, it doesn't spit and splatter back at you. Sorry about that, I do apologise. The cap you can take off to use to measure the fluid, and you'll lock it in place prior to use. But like I said, that takes 1 litre of water and a cap full of the blue fluid prior to use. The back of the van on either side, you've got your wind down legs to stabilise the caravan, and again they are just there for stabilising, not lifting. Go around to the other side of the van now. Got your barbecue gas point on the front left hand side. You've got your wind down leg on either side. Storage locker for the front of the van. Telly connection and telly bracket. 230 volt connection so you can have power out to your awning, and then you've got the storage access for underneath the bed at the rear of the caravan. Also on the door side, behind the door, you've got the 2 fridge vents to allow the hot air out the back of the fridge unit. You'll also take in some cool air, and there's a gas flue behind there also, so when the fridge is operating on gas, it vents outside of the van. Coming inside the van, first thing you're going to need to do is turn on the mains power. So mains power just here. You've then got your awning light, internal lighting, and the roof lighting for along the top. The ones here are actually for the lights above the front cabinet itself. Control panel, voltmeter, time, and then your dimmer level at the bottom, so you can adjust the dimmer level, and they'll actually get brighter or go completely down low, as you can see when you adjust the dimness on those mood setting lights essentially. To fill the water system, first of all, you're going to need to come over to every tap on board the caravan. You're going to need to open the tap up. You're not actually going to have water coming out of it straight away, because when you initially come to the caravan, the water should be completely drained off. The reason being is if you left it in there during the winter, it could actually freeze the water system up and crack the tank on board the van. So, every time you finish with the van, like I said, drain it down. But to fill it, you can come underneath the seat on the front right hand side, and you're going to need to make sure the yellow valve underneath the seat is parallel with the floor. If that valve is parallel with the floor, you are ready to start filling the water system on board the caravan. If that valve is upright, pointing towards the bottom of the seat, it will actually drain all of the water back out of the caravan, straight onto the floor under the caravan. So parallel with the floor before you start trying to fill the system. Once you've got that valve parallel with the floor and you've got all the taps open on the hot side, you can come to the control panel above the door, and you've got the water pump switch just here. Saying water level low because the water system isn't completely full at the moment, so you'll turn on the water pump, and the water system will fill up And when it does start filling up to start with, you'll get spitting and splattering out the taps, a bit like when the water's been off at home, for instance. However, when the water's running continuously out the tap, as you can see it is now, that means the system is complete. At that point, you can shut every tap off on board the caravan, and you can start thinking about warming the water with the heating hot water system. So on the control panel to the left of the one above the door, the silver one you see here is your already heating and hot water control panel. I'm just going to turn it off so you can see how to turn it on. I'm going to press the on button just here, which is also the off button. The screen's going to load up. What the control panel is showing me at the moment is that we've got mains power coming in, and below that you have the room temperature as well. It only stays up very briefly. Internal room temperature at the moment, as you can see. If we press the menu button, we can go into here and we can adjust the room temperature by going plus or minus, depending on where we want the room temperature to be. Below that, you've got your hot water, so you've got hot water on when the bar's halfway up, and then when it's completely full, that is water boost for when you're showering on board the van, for instance. Below that, we have the amount of power you've got coming into the heating and hot water system. Now, initially, when you have all this turned off, this control panel here will actually flash and say heater error. As soon as I turn the power on over here, that disappears, and it's just letting you know there essentially that there's no power going to the heating and hot water system until you've turned it on. So depending on what site you're on, you're going to either run 1, 2 or 3 kilowatts of power coming into your heating system. You'll ask the site office when you arrive on site, and they will give you the information you require to what heating system you can, what power level you can set this heating system to. If you want to use gas as a power source, you can also do that by hitting the gas option at the bottom left hand side here. However, before you try and ignite the systems on gas, I would advise that you ignite the hob first, get the gas through to the hob, because that is the last point on the gas system. If this ever failed to ignite on gas, it will come up with gas fail at the bottom of the screen with 2 exclamation marks either end of the writing. But that is your heating and hot water control panel. So you've got room temperature, water temperature, amount of power coming into the caravan, and the option to run gas at the bottom here. You have got some advanced settings on the right hand side here that we advise you read the manual for. With that control, with the advanced settings, you can also set programs for your heating and hot water system so it comes on and off as you wish it to, like your heating would at home. Microwave, hob, grill and oven all works very much the same as your household supply. But please remember, if you're on 240 volt, the microwave won't work, and also the electric ring at the back won't work. I'm going to go over to the fridge now. Very straightforward to use control panel on this fridge. Just wait for it to clear up a little bit so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. You've got power on for the fridge. As you can see, pretty blue light comes on. At the moment, we're on 12 volts. What that means is actually if you're connected to the car and you were towing down the road and you turn the fridge on, put it onto the 12 volt mode, which is the battery symbol here, the car would actually power the fridge to work as a call box as you're travelling down the road. Now if I change the power source, we've got the option to run gas here. The gas system will work if the gas is turned on and connected, and essentially the blue light here is a pilot light. However, if this blue light is on the left hand side, it means the fridge has failed to ignite on the gas option. On gas or mains power, you can control the temperature of the fridge on the button on the right hand side here, and again the control panel is now letting me know that it hasn't ignited on gas. Press the button again and go across to the 240 volt mode. For some reason the blue light is also staying on here at the moment. I do believe it's because the power's just tripped on site, so that won't happen when you're here on site collecting the caravan. What you'll see is when you go to 240 mains, you'll just have a solid blue light here, and you'll be able to control the temperature of the fridge on the right hand side. Auto mode will essentially go to whatever power source it is set as. So you can change it over between auto. Well, auto will actually go between the gas, the electric and the 12 volt supply, depending on what it is connected to at that particular time. To turn the fridge off, you'll press and hold the power button. And after a few seconds, the fridge will turn off completely. Underneath the bed, you have the standard storage area where you can lift the bed up, and you'll also find there the spare wheel for the caravan. Coming into the bathroom, the last point on the caravan when you go through is the flush system first of all. So toilet flush system, full indicator light for the toilet waste cassette will illuminate red when the toilet cassette is full. Then underneath the toilet has a grey waste handle which you can push across to allow the toilet waste into the cassette underneath the van. However, if you're removing the cassette from underneath the van, you need to make sure the toilet is completely straight with the back of the toilet seat, toilet area, because if it isn't, the toilet cassette won't be able to remove due to the fact it's got two lockout tabs in place that will hold the cassette in place if the toilet seat is turned or the grey toilet flap is open. So that's the Swift Elite 645. If you have any further questions on the caravan, please don't hesitate to call us here at the Caravan Company and we'll be more than happy to help. We appreciate the business and we look forward to seeing you here on site when you collect your caravan soon. Thank you for now. Bye bye.